not overly needed, like we discussed. They're just for diamonds, but they're nice to have. Or when we expand out in the future. And a little tower right here. There's a problem make a blueprint with one of these towers that already have what's it called? The space what was being requested in. It's a small thing, but will make it a bit easier to manage. Light up. You. Here, and there. Very nice. There's some power. There's some there as well. Some power to give it all a bit of life. Yes. Nice amount of crystals or ore flowing in. That means we have this one pretty much tapped at what we need. The power is looking more than fine. So, one of the last few rare resources we'll need to find. We have kimberlite ore, we have optical granite crystal, we have spiniform, we have the unipolar magnets. So we pretty much just need to go find fractal silicon. Not super important, but we can save a ton of silicon with it. So I'll probably go and grab that after we've done the Stream Raiders battle, just so we have all the rare resources in the network. So let's jump over and see how it looks. There we are. Afraid Not is back. Afraid Not. He's insane. So let's see here. Let's see if I can grab the ball. That'd be good, and then we'll see how it goes. Hopefully Frey Not does kill everyone. He is pretty insane. Who's gonna get the ball? Yes, I got the ball. Perfect. Oh, this one's throwing bombs. Bring it. Adeline killed a ton. Let's see who's gonna get the loot. Sorry about that. Arthur Scrolls goes to Birdie. Yet again, sniping all the loot. it's one of the things he's very, very good at. Let's see, let's continue over. Let's get started. Let's see. Let's just get something down. I said it was one of the things. It's not... You said it was the only thing. Didn't I have some kind of quest? I think I had a quest where I had to place down something. Let's see where they're at. What do I have? Oh yeah, bombers. I think I have something with that. Let's try and place you down. So let's just quickly go and check. What was the quest we had? Oh, it's 3 busters I have to place. Ooh. Quest completed. Perfect. Legendary Orc Slayers. That's a lot. The flying units. Yeah, so we'll play some busters as well. Just so we have some. But that will be in the next fight. So, filling up nicely. Have chips in it. So we're going to look for a fractal crystal if we can find anywhere they are at. Should be possible. Oh, the first one I click. That was quite easy. Fractal silicon. Let's have a little trip that way. This should be able to mind its own business now. I love the streaks. That they have different color depending on what they're transporting between worlds. So we're kind of also getting to the stage where we should start to build our first Dyson sphere. At least it won't be too far into the future now, as pretty much our entire base is set up other than the production for that, at least at our current scale. So it also means we'll have to go hunting for whatever star we want to build it around. So just find the one with the highest amount of blue. I think that produces the most. So let's go and see if we can find that at some point, if it's not too far away. Let's see, that is the one that has 15, that's not a lot. Give us a small amount. This lava planet, which always looks cool, by the way. Let's see. Where are you hiding? All titanium here, but I don't want to get that right here. Well, firstly, let's get some power down. Oh, very nice, all the beast. I was glad that some of the things I do help. So how big are you based then? If you're 400 hours in, it must be getting quite large. Unless it's your first playthrough. In that regard, it's a lot of time have gone by just experimenting with things. Take out power. You'll be up here somewhere. I actually fit in right here, so what if I just use that? We'll just go down a bit further then. It's not really that important which one we use, as I just want it to go down so we can produce some power. This is also completely overkill. Ah, very nice. But yeah, blueprints makes it it's so much easier to do things. I remember in my first playthrough, I even made a factory planet at that point, but damn, doing that by hand was a monumental task. That goes into power. Get some space warpers, just in case. Is that even needed here? I don't think space warpers are needed on this one. Just get these two going. Go in, go out, give power. Yeah, that should be fine. Then we'll drag you to... Let's see, where are you hiding? Right over here. But yeah, getting the logistics system is so much It's so good. Is it the planetary one you're almost done researching? Or is it the interstellar one? We also have silicon there. Might be worth getting some of that. I hope they at some point will implement the drag and click and drag function from Factorio. Because it's much easier to plan out your power poles then. Ah, very nice. Yeah, in this playthrough I pretty much just rushed to yellow signs so I could get the interstellar logistics towers, as I wanted to build my base up around that, then do what I did in my first playthrough and did a lot with planetary logistics before I went to interstellar ones. Just to save some time and to make the builds that would also work in game. You can go and out with that one. In and you go in. Good. And there goes all the fractal silicon. Very nice speed. Only get better as time goes on. We will want to grab anything else from here. What I'm normally looking at is our silicon production, as that can be quite bad. You see the consumption are changing, so it might not be too bad. The total. We're still a few 100,000 ahead. Also a few, about 60,000 ahead. We do have some in surplus, so it might be good. We'll see later. It's not completely bad. That looks good. That is just because we're producing enough. So that's fine. So I think it's about time we start to build our Dyson spheres. So getting the vertical launch silo up and running, because we have all the things produced already somewhere in the base. So far, from my experience, I hadn't had any lag just yet. In my first playthrough though, I did have a small amount of lag at the end on my old PC. I've gotten a new one since. So, so far I haven't had any issues. And I don't expect I'll get any until it's way bigger than it is at the moment. But so far, quite good. I know they implemented the performance statistics. You can see here what it uses. They should have a ton of space. Oh, logistics vessels was used the most. So as you can see, I have more than enough CPU, up to 209 UPS still. I don't think I see my FPS anywhere just yet. But if you go UPS, FPS is the same, then we're quite good for a long time. At least that is what I'm hoping. So you are filling up nicely. I can leave you behind now. And we can go and have a little look at going to our factory world and setting up the 2 new things we can make. And of course getting the research done as well. So vertical launch silo. This requires graviton lenses to be used for when grabbing power. Let's get you first. Get the stress system. Let's get you. That gives us something to do while we build the other things. I came from a GTX 980, so a 7-year-old or 6-year-old card, very old. Now I'm running a 3080. I was lucky enough to find someone selling his PC secondhand because he was moving, so even in this round of graphics card situation, I was able to get one, actually at a pretty decent price. So I couldn't complain about that. Then I have Intel 10700K, something like that. So it's pretty much as high end as it can get at the moment, which is very nice, and will able to serve me for the next many years before I run into anything that's gonna push it to any kind of issues. A funny story with me changing my PC. I have an old, what's it called, Factorio save that was down to 10 FPS when I was playing it. And when I got my new PC, I was able to run it at 6060 again. And I was like, that is so nice. Being able to handle the megabases I normally build without having to worry about lag being the limiting factor. We'll see how hard we can push this in terms of performance. Here we'll have to go. I'm just gonna scroll over here. How are you looking? You are building up nicely. Unipolar is not going in fast enough as the only limiting factor, but that will increase, so that's good. So yeah. Well, there's no point. Oh, that's a pretty beefy PC you have then. That's an insanely beefy PC. We'll probably not run into any issues either. 2 sec, I just need to open a window and then I'll be right back. Well, it was getting quite hot in my office, so we needed to solve that. Filled up. Are you looking here? You are empty. Because of that, but now we got the fractal. Oh, it's fractal, the spino. I don't remember what they're called now. Well, we got that at least, so we can set up our production for this one instead. In a chemical facility. Let's get a few requested in. I think we have room up here. And it's not requested in yet. Right. Please give me chemical plants. Remote demands. Not have any. Oh, we'll just put one in here. I'll have to add some to the home base so all of them have some logistics in them. Because that is way easier to manage than this. Our 16 gigabytes is somewhat low. I think I'm running 32 at the moment, because 16 is on the edge of what I normally use just running my PC with all the background things. That's gonna be nice when you get the extra RAM. Seriously needs to get this upgraded. I'm guessing that is the main bottleneck over here. Yes, that is correct. It's the same setup as this, if I'm not mistaken. If I take that over here and just double U, it will look somewhat decent. Maybe. I'm thinking of making it in the same row as this. Maybe some over here. Making things. Oh. Let's just see. Let's get the chem plants first. Or here. Then we can always improve it later on. No, let's drop it over here. So I'll give us a bit more room, and this one needs to be dismantled as well at some point, as we got a better setup flying in as it stands right now. So let's just start you here. Or you can start you here. It's fine. You will request in, sorry, you'll output firstly carbon nanotubes. And you'll request in spinoform stalagmites. Remote demands. That's already going to get delivered. Perfect. Most demand locally if we have any. We'll get in some warpers. That's a remote demand. That is always the easiest way to do it, as I know I already have one that's delivering it. Then never have to worry about local supply and such. And that should be fine. Oh, let's fix this. I actually want to take this blueprint from over here instead of remaking all of it. Right. There seems good. That's fine. You can go away, you can go away, and you can go away. Output nanotubes, input stalagmites. Fine. And fly. Of course, you can use all the ideas I have, providing that you think they're good. Because that is not a guarantee. Let's get some of you, just a smidge. We'll change you into that one instead. Do that. Good. Output. That might. Ooh, they are incredibly fast at getting here. So that should solve our greatest bottleneck we have at the moment, being this one. And the requests by themselves. Do you have any? You have no drones, so if we give you drones, that should probably be the best. There we are, and you'll start to request locally as well. Perfect. Look at that. That gives us 1 every 2 seconds. This gives us 2, 4, 6. 12, that gives us 6 per second. And you over here, you're consuming... Well... Let's see, it's 1.5... What is called that? Of 1/4 every second. Times a lot. So we'll probably just make this a bit bigger. To make sure we can actually handle the supply and we have enough throughput going in. Ratios is a 1-to-1. So we can't even take from the same line. We could have shifted this over and have 2 lines instead of 3. Do I want to do that just for making it look a bit better and not take as much? I think I will. So okay, let's do this. I think this will be good. Let's call it work in progress with that one. Because then I'll dismantle this one. Hey Sky, welcome as well. Because then I'll dismantle this one and move it over because I want to change it up a bit. Luckily, dismantling things takes only a few seconds. Because what I want to do instead is having 2 rows. Because it takes just a bit less space. Have you... This would be the middle. Do you... there? Do you on the opposite side? Right here. No, I can't overlap you. I'll fix that just in a second. Do you... here. Because that gives us twice as much, but inside the same little space of 6 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I want to stay inside that always. As then I have 6 for each of them. We just need to hook you up. Luckily that is easy enough to do. Output. Output. You go in. You'll like to output this one. Here and that might go out, so there. Let's get all the power poles as before. Just remove everything except those. So as soon as you get quite familiar with how blueprints work, you can actually use them somewhat quickly, even though they're not as versatile as Factorio blueprints. Then I just kind of want to make this just a tiny bit longer, because we know it's a 1-to-1 ratio. It means I can in theory make this way bigger. What if I take this and take away... How do we do this correctly? Because I can't just take this. But we can't overlap the belts and such, unfortunately, so this won't work if I want to line it up as closely as possible. Now let's just do this. This should work. If we do that, just add in the belts.